Hello everyone, I'm Tessellating Hexagons, and we're back with more Knight's Journey of Dreams, now with Will's story, and there's a lot I have to say about the opening cutscene, but we still have more cutscenes to get through, I think, so, maybe bear with. Now, I like everything about his opening cutscene, except for that goofy smile towards the end, like, suddenly the nightmare has stopped having any effect on him, he's just like, oh, hey, there's the light, better run towards it, everything's gonna be fine. Like, you don't know that, but, anyway, we're here at the Dream Gate once again.
Visitor from another world. Welcome. I take it that this is your first time here.
Whoa!
I am Owl. I have lived here since, well, since long before you were born. I'll bet that you're wondering just where here is, eh? Well, have the things you've seen when you're asleep ever felt particularly real to you? Have you ever thought for sure that it all had to be something more? Well, that's because what you people think of as dreams is really this world.
A world of dreams?
Precisely. This is the night dimension, the place people make their way to when they're asleep. This area here is known as the Dream Gate. Isn't that carefree little rascal again?
Hey, now this one looks interesting. My name is Knight. What's yours? I'm Will. Will, huh? Say, Will, have you ever thought about flying? If you dualize with me, you can check it out for yourself. Want to give it a shot? Dualize?
Oh! Dualizing allows your bodies to assimilate with one another. It's probably much easier to understand if you just try it. Go over and touch Knight's. You'll see what I mean.
And of course this will result in a forced tutorial, which I'll skip for your sake because we've seen it before.
Hey, hold it! You see that black sea down there? Make sure you stay away from it.
Yes. You must never go near the dark ocean. It is a world of chaos and void. Ooh. If you slip in, you may never return.
Okay, that wasn't bad for your first time. Let's get back to the Dream Gate.
Ho-ho! How curious! The door to Nightopia has appeared.
Nightopia?
That red light. That's the idea of courage.
Huh?
Here in the night dimension, there is a world called Nightopia, created by the light of Idia. I see. Your Idia called this door into being.
That's amazing, Will! Most visitors end up losing their Idia on their way here. But that Idia creates the paradise called Nightopia. Let's check it out. A paradise? That's right. I'll see you there.
I do wish that Knights would sit still just for once. Oh well, I suppose I'll finish telling you the rest in Nightopia then.
Well, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I do find, especially as a side-by-side comparison, Will's portrayal of Knights compared to Helen's absolutely fascinating. Pure Valley, that's what it's called. Pardon that, I'd forgotten what Will's first level was called. There you go, the Dream of Highlands, which is a very specific thing to dream about. But anyway, level 1, because we've got plenty of time left in this episode yet, so woo!
Wow,
introduce the NiGHTS. They are the residents of this world. They are kind, gentle folk who love to sing and play. What's the matter?
I've been looking for you, Knights. Where's your persona? Took it off again, did you?
Riala, did you come all the way here just to nag me?
I go out of my way, and this is how you treat me. Seize the traitor!
Hey! Let me go! Knights!
Stay back, lad. You're no match for that one.
Listen to the old bird, boy. Now go, you three. Go and lock up the prisoner. I will return shortly.
Those were nightmares from the dark realm of nightmare. They aim to take Idia from visitors so they can destroy Nightopia. But wait.
Huh?
You have the red Idia. I believe you may be able to neutralize that cage. If you can get into the cell and then duelize with knights, the both of you will be able to escape.
Really?
Yes, of course. The effect will not last long, however. You'll need to get the keys back from the guards before being dragged back to the cell.
It's fascinating, really, if you think about it, because all the characters talk to Will in such a way that, like, they just get to the point. They don't flower it up with, but maybe you should, like, oh no, Helen, wait, don't go ahead and rush out. Like, Owl discouraged Helen from trying to rescue Knights, but basically told Will what to do. And I'm not saying that's like a strength or weakness of character, I just like the disparity, kind of, between the way the characters think, because, like, there's, like, it says a lot about how Will thinks, that the characters are more to the point and just say whatever's on their mind to Will, whereas with Helen there's so much more humming and hawing. Really? I did that, like, in a heartbeat, and you still think that's only worth a B? Really? Well, that's just ruined with an N. I've been fluffed! I've been fluffed! How dare you fluff me? This is not the time for fluff. I shall boop the dandelion. And my Elgato decided to make the screen just disappear again. This happened in Pikmin 3 recently as well, so I cannot explain. And oh, I didn't realise CPOs were not exclusive to Aqua Garden. Is it called Aqua Garden? Yes, so I'm thinking of Splash Garden in the first game. Okay, so I also like how, now this is one thing that I will pull the game up on, but we've not quite got to that point just yet, but I like how in Will's story, Knights is portrayed as being more feminine, sort of, like relatively, because Knights is deliberately androgynous. It's supposed to be, like, they're supposed to be a representative of, well, I'm not going to get into this theory just yet, but there is a rather extensive theory that I tend to talk about in due course about the nature of Knights' gender and gender presentation, and it pertains quite strongly to the characters' personalities. And I just like that, as well, Knights is seen playing this invisible flute, which of course Helen never even, like, that never happened in Helen's story. And that's because Helen is already a musician, so to her, there's nothing particularly exotic about playing an instrument, it's just what she does. But with Will, it's this rare, like, unusual thing that you could do, but isn't common to his life, whereas with Helen, it's not really anything special. And there's just so much more I could talk about what distinguishes the two stories from each other, and, like, character presentation and all that, and, oh, yep, okay. We did get the thing after all, I did wonder. And of course, because this is a separate story, and it's kind of a separate Knights, but also not, that means we don't get to keep any of the personas we collected in Helen's story, because that's exclusive to Helen's Knights. Both as in the time of day, and also the person, well, I guess they are technically a nightmare, and we can't run away from that fact. Boom! Why boom? I don't know. Everything's inverted for some reason. I'm not quite sure what the diddly-dealio there was. And hey look, this is kind of like Stick Canyon from the first game, except not, because those sections take forever to get through and whittle down your timer like that. Anyway, I was going to mention, we haven't seen it yet. Or rather we have, but indirectly. Will refers to knights using male pronouns despite Knights' relatively feminine portrayal compared to Helen's. And again, we'll get into more detail about that in due course. It's just that, like, Knights is deliberately androgynous and gender fluid, and that, as I said, it's something we'll get into in due course. There's a theory and I want to share it, but also Will's, like, background story, I like how, whereas with Helen it's more of an immediate fear, like she's got this fear of disappointing her mother and it's suddenly manifested itself in sudden terror. With Will, it's not fear, but it's despair, seeing his father disappear. And also, I can kind of relate, like, not completely, because my father would go on business trips quite frequently as well, but I never had that feeling of, oh no, he's abandoned me, he's never come back. Like, I never felt like that. And also, this is Drifting Don Ballon, totally not a successor to Puffy from the first game. So, like, I can relate apart from on the, oh no, he's a sportman front. Like, that part can't relate. Cannot relate to sportman. So, if you know Puffy from the first game, then this should be very familiar, except this is vertical instead of horizontal, so we're going up a vertical corridor instead of a corridor. It's sort of like pinball, and it is possible to do yourself a damage just by running into Don Ballon at, like, a fucky sort of speed, so you do need to take some level of care. But it's not that difficult. So there you go, that's it, that's the entire boss. Ah, he's gonna go boom, he went boom. Much like in a certain Spyro game, he went boom again, and look how easy that is. That's a puddle of pistols, it's very easy. But it's fine, it's the first level, it's not meant to be that difficult. Also, very good music, but you didn't really get a chance to hear it. So yes, we got an A. Let's start as we mean to go on, or so I would hope. Anyway, I think I've said all I need to say, so let's just continue with the story, if we can. Apparently there was no cutscene there, so maybe my Airbnb?
Oh, splendid job, visitor. Defeating that giant nightmare was no small feat. Whoo!
No, that was just Knight's power.
Even so, you mustn't rest on your laurels just yet. All visitors originally have a total of 5 different idia. Fortunately, you've managed to hold on to your idia of courage. The remaining 4 are the idia of purity, intelligence, growth, and hope. They are white, blue, green, and yellow, respectively. Until you retrieve all of the idia, Nightopia cannot become whole. Idia are the very source of Nightopia. The fact that Nightopia currently exists at all means that the other idia must be someplace in this world, very likely hidden. Listen closely, visitor. These idia are of your very heart. Retrieve the remaining 4 idia, and your heart will win out over the nightmare.
Gee, no pressure or anything.
You needn't worry, visitor. Knights will be with you. And I shall do what I can to keep an eye on you, and help you out to the best of my ability.
And I do find it very telling as well that Will's conversations are so much more exposition heavy than Helen's, and I feel like it belies some degree of lack of confidence in himself. And oh good, we can access My Dream from Will's side now, and I think it is just the same My Dream, it's just that they share it. Anyway, like, Will seems to lack this confidence in himself, and maybe Helen has that confidence because she's a performer, maybe not. But anyway, we should head back into Pure Valley, because we haven't wasted a load of time with the opening cutscene. Well, we sort of have, but not the opening FMV, so we have more time in this episode to play with than we did in Helen's version thereof. So let's go into the next mission. It sure is a mission, I forget which mission it is. Ha. Well, we shall see. It may or may not be a gimmick level. I don't remember the order of operations here.
Hoo-hoo! Octopaw has squirreled himself away in that jar.
Octopaw?
Octopaw is an unusual creature. When he flies, he expels a series of rings.
Hey! He ran off. Come on, Will. Shall we have some fun? Let's follow him. Let's see how many of those rings we can fly through.
Hey, it's Octopus! Apparently that's a really terrible impersonation of Toad from the Mario series, and going slightly ham here, starting with a minimum requirement of 30 per lap instead of, I think Helen started with 25, so Will's Link missions are probably going to end up being harder overall, because Will has less self-confidence, therefore he expects the world to expect more of him, question mark? Well, anyway, I don't want to let myself down. I would like to get another good rank here, and I'll at least talk through the entire first lap if I have anything else left to say, and I'm not sure that I do. But hey, I've got through Helen's harder missions of this with a decent rank, so I would like to get a good rank here as well. Bearing in mind, okay, that is one thing. Pure Valley, really generic idea for a level, but they make it work. Like, you know, we've seen like the hot air balloons and the zip lines and stuff. Like, they didn't have to put that in, but it really does sort of make a difference to the flavor of this level. Like, Pure Valley, as I said, what a generic idea, and yet they've done creative stuff with it, and I applaud that. So good for you, game designers. You did a good, and hot air balloons and wind, and this is another one where it'd be fun to come back to with a dragon persona from basically the end game, because obviously the dragon persona can resist wind, so you might be able to explore a bit more funnily and perhaps get dream drops that I don't even know exist, because that's the one thing that this Let's Play is not going to be excellent with. Showing the location of every single dream drop, because I have no idea. By the way, we're still on our second run, but then again, this is the first Link challenge, and I got to like 300 or possibly even more when I did it with Helen, so I feel like we've done a complete lap at this point, so I'll just hello from the other side, if that pleases you. Failed one of those. Apparently I got too cocky. Well, it's fine. I think it only counts your best lap, so I'm not even mad. If you don't give me an A for 508 links, I'll be slightly peeved. By the way, I like how in Will's opening cutscene, his father gets into a car, but next time you see it, it's an aeroplane that's already taken off, and I feel like that's a really clever effect, and I meant to mention that sooner, and I forgot to. But in any case, even with stuff to cut out, I feel like that's a good, chunky first episode of Will's story, so that being the case, I have been, and will continue to be, Tessellating Hexagons, and in the next episode, the Octopus. Octopus. Yeah, in the next episode, we're going to get to know Will a little bit better in terms of what missions he favours, because of course Helen likes the separated from nights missions. Well, we'll see what Will's preference is. So I hope you can join me for that. See you then, and goodbye.